Let me know if you can hear me, and we're going to get started. So, do I have, is this good? Can you hear me? This is maybe why we do the tests to begin with. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Easy. We have a little bit of delay. Thank you, Jarrett, as well. All right, so let's get started. Thank you, Savi. Thank you, everyone on the call today. Adam, Trina, Sterling, Cheryl, Marianne, and everybody else chiming in. And of course, our extended Facebook and YouTube family now. Thank you so much for joining this week's deal reveal. And this week, we have a guest speaker, if you will. We have Jarrett, who's coming back to a deal reveal after over a year. And he is actually going to show you his deal, which just might become your deal. So let's see, what am I talking about? But before that, I want to let you know that our Key to Castle program is done. You missed it. And so if that's of interest to you to learn how to buy your castle in the sunny state of Florida or California, or anywhere in the world, this program is only going to be offered in about 2 more months from now. That's the next time we're going. And the mid-year revelation is also finished. We wrapped that up just last week, and this is only going to be back next year. Okay, so these are programs that are coming back, but don't come back every week like the deal reveal. And so when you see them and you're interested or you'd like to learn more about it, be sure to reach out. Upcoming next is Millionaire Mindset Miracle. So keep an eye out for that and jump on board if that's of interest to you. But today we're going to go see Jarrett, and I'm going to promote him to panelist. And so that will give him some extra audio and video powers. And we are jumping in and getting excited potentially to see if this is a deal. We have a mixed use commercial 35 unit income producing property for under $1 million. And we're going to learn quite a bit about it because Jarrett knows all the ins and outs of this deal, and he even has an opportunity to get into this deal creatively for less money down than what you might expect. So Jarrett, I did promote you to panelist. Let me know if you can unmute yourself and say a couple words. Make sure our techno's working here.
Hi, Kyle.
Yes. Yes, I hear you. My volume was low. That's why I didn't hear. Hey, Jarrett, how are we doing today?
Super. Looking forward to this.
Yes, so am I. Fantastic. So, as I mentioned, this is a real deal. Jarrett's a real guy, and let's see if we can make some real money together. So, Jarrett, why don't you just give us a little bit of background on this? This is a property in Ohio, but not Cleveland. This is in Shelby, Ohio. As I mentioned, 35 unit potential property under $1 million, basically could be worth up to $2 million once the project is fully completed. So Jarrett, tell us a little bit about the deal.
It's 1 hour south of Cleveland in a small town called Shelby. Population is 10,000. The town has just, they're doing a multi-million-dollar revitalization project. They built a solar array to generate power. The town actually has 2 dams, for water purposes. They're spending over $7 million because the town is super, super big into sports. So they're spending $7 million to build a new sports complex. And there's a lady I've been in contact with who City Hall's right across the street from the property. She specializes in helping new people in revitalization in real estate to, look for grants and different things. And her job is actually to revitalize this town and the other towns in the neighborhood. And clearly they put in, millions of dollars by building this power array. And right now plus the building in January, I got all new piping. The city put in all new piping. They ripped up the sidewalk and put all brand new piping into the building. The building's it was built in 1889. So we got brand new pipes into the building. The units, there's 4 separate addresses. It's on Main Street. There's 2 storefronts. There's a drive-through teller. It used to be an old bank that closed
Mhm,
over
mhm.
20, 30 years ago. The bank has 15 offices. Above the bank, there's 9 current apartments that I started to renovate. And then there's another section above the bank where you can put an additional 8 more apartments. So you could get a total of 17 apartments, 15 offices, 3 storefronts total, and there's a 16-car parking garage, which you can rent out for $25 a month. And then there's an additional parking lot across the street. There's an additional 25-car parking garage or parking spots above the garage. The property's on Main Street.
So Main Street, we're right part of the revitalization effort of the city, it sounds like. Have there
Yeah,
been,
absolutely.
have there been other structures in the main, on the main street or on the main drag that have already benefited from these government funding and kickbacks, or just other investors who have tapped into this movement?
I've seen 3 other people renovating while I was there. I was there for 5 months overseeing the renovations last year, and I saw 3 other projects on Main Street alone under construction.
Beautiful. So let's do a quick recap here and let's see if my math is right. We got a whole bunch of 1 bedrooms. I think there's 13 1 bedrooms in total. There's 3 2 bedrooms. There's 3 storefronts, 15 offices, a whole bunch of garage parking spots. And so what's the total gross income that this could kick off?
Actually, I was talking to the broker in the last couple of days, and he told me to actually raise it. So I got in the neighborhood of now $19,125 a month.
19,000 a month. That's over 200,000 a year off this building. Okay. And so obviously that's not all net income. We do have to go through our summit and pay for our taxes, insurance, and management, maintenance, mortgage, utilities. We know the drill. But this is a mixed use or a commercial, and the residential side of this expense ratio should be around the 50% to the 45%. So using the 50% rule, or cutting off about 50 to 45% from gross to net, we're going to basically have an estimate of how much this can kick off. So it's looking like this can generate over 100,000 net a year. Does that sound about right with your numbers as well, Jared?
Yes.
Okay, over 100,000. And so tell us a little bit about the offer. This is for sale, as I understand, or maybe even some type of partnership could be struck. So what do you have for the community today, Jared?
I started renovating this last year, and due to COVID and supplies not coming through on time, etc., and supplies of people and people getting sick, went way beyond my expectations, way beyond my budget. And so anyways, I put in over $500,000 so far to do renovations, but a lot of it didn't get finished, obviously, the way we wanted it. So to finish the project, I rough estimated for around $550,000, this thing can be 100% complete. Give us 17 units of apartments, 15 storefronts finished, and 3 storefronts. Did I say that right? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
and that would bring it up to about the 20,000 or 19,000 a month.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic, excellent. And you also told me that there was maybe some creative element to this deal because there's an entity involved, and there's different options on the table.
Correct.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
I have a 2-year-old. I'm currently partners with somebody else, but we're trying to sell it off. I have a 2-year-old LLC that's established in Ohio, that's been running, has a bank account, which if a Canadian is looking for, or an American for that fact, or any investor is looking for the ability to improve and or set up a trade line in the USA, because their bank account's been there for 2 years, that'll give you a real advantage if you were to buy the LLC, which owns this single property, and we're willing to sell the LLC and or the property separately. So it's an advantage.
Absolutely. Excellent. So to buy the company which owns the real estate rather than simply buying the real estate and, having any entity you want own it. So buying the entity may end up being a cheaper alternative to enter into the deal and then benefit from existing trade lines attached to that company. And maybe even skipping the financing element altogether because, and I don't know the specific numbers of what the entity purchase strategy would look like, but that might be less than 30% down in this particular case. And so there's options on the table. So, yes, Jared? I thought I heard you there.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, my bad. So there we have it. So let's take a quick look here just because we have the particular numbers. So let me pull up the dashboard for you all here, and we can go in a little bit deeper than we usually do on these reveals. No, not this one. We've got this one, just like that. Okay, so here we have it. We have our property. We've got our income, about 19,000, as we mentioned. And once all renovations completed, the property's value based on the realtor that you spoke to and the income is close to $2 million based on the income. And then bringing in some very basic assumptions of 30% down, and we may be able to do better because Jared is open to creative acquisition strategies here. But let's say we're just doing the traditional acquisition of about 30% down here, about 8% on your interest amortized 30 years. We would have somewhere in the double-digit caps and almost hitting the 20% cash on cash returns here. And I know I asked you about this number, Jarrett. I don't know if you got some clarity on this between when I asked and the call right now. Are the utilities
No, there's no clarity. No, there's no clarity.
No clarity at this point. Okay,
so right now.
So in your due diligence, make sure you look into that. But basically, this is basically what the numbers. We're in a double-digit cap range right now. And I also wanted to mention, for those of you who are looking at this $500,000 renovation project, which is massive, granted, but there's also an opportunity here to not do the entire renovation. And maybe, Jared, you can clarify what I mean by not doing the entire renovation here, because there's really a phase one and phase two. So, Jared, do you want to maybe explain that for those who maybe want to get into a 200,000 renovation instead of 5?
Sure. This could be done in 2 and or 3 phases. So the way the building is currently mapped out, there's the office section, which has 15 offices, which is painted currently. It needs flooring. So for a few $1,000s, the flooring can be done. But before the flooring needs to be done, there's $45,000 to do 2 sections of the roof, because obviously water is leaking through. So then that'll finish the office area. And then to finish the 9 apartments, you can, for $10,000, we can get 5 units finished, bringing in $4,200 a month, which breaks it positive cash flow basically. So that could be kind of phase 1. And then if we need to finance to get more money, you can do the second half, which is the other 8 apartments above the bank office area.
So the phase 1, which is basically done, how much is missing for that first phase 1?
Yeah, definitely for under 200,000. Even not even that, 100,000, like 45,000 for the roof, and just to get that other part, like 25 will finish it for sure. So 75.
So we got a very quick, small project considering the size of this asset. Phase 1 is inches away from being finished, and that'll definitely put it into a break even or positive cash flow situation. And then every dollar spent above that is further optimizing it to get to its full potential of close to $2 million. Does that sound about right?
Exactly.
All right, fantastic. So let's see if the crowd's got any questions for you. Okay, great. No, those are just comments. So any questions for Jared here? You can type them up in the chat and we'll see if we can get it out. This is a real opportunity. Jarrett is open to just selling it for right around $1 million, just under $1 million. Let the person go in, do the work, and take the full potential. Or we can do that creatively by buying the entity rather than the asset. Or there might be some kind of partnership discussion as well. Last I spoke, you were also open to that, Jared, right?
Correct.
Okay. So from the call here, is this a deal? Is this no deal? Do we need more questions? We're direct with the owner, ladies and gentlemen. Jared's not a wholesaler. He's not a gatekeeper. He is the owner. And so this could be your next deal. So what questions do you have for him?
The clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking. The first one gets it. And I got a message saying the chat's disabled, but the Q&A is working for sure.
Yeah, the chat is disabled.
Is it? Oh, that's odd.
Yeah.
So use the Q&A function, ladies and gentlemen who are on the call, the Q&A function to communicate with us. I don't know why the chat's disabled. Okay, AZ, are there any legal concerns with the units? Just curious. Anything we should know about from the legality side of the zoning, of the current use of? Is there a heroin addict in the units? Like what's happening? Anything we should be aware of?
Oh, it's all good. One of the buildings actually diagonally across the street just sold, so the place is happening, booming, hopping. I kicked out the drug addict that was there. Yeah, there's nothing with the city or no citations or nothing like that.
Beautiful, excellent. Adam is asking, is 1.7 million the ARV, the after repair value on this? So yes, it is. The 1.7 is the ARV. We do need to put in the work, optimize and stabilize, but based on the numbers that are projected here, we should be comfortably in the 1.7 if we do the full project. Yeah. Perfect. Excellent. Any other questions? Janie and I actually did go down to Shelby to see this property in person. And so we can vouch for the restaurant across the street, right at the corner. It's literally Main Street, right in the middle of, is that technically the center of downtown? That yes. Intersection, it is the building at the corner of downtown, right? That's what we're talking about here. Vincent is asking how many units need repair. So maybe run that by, because there's a lot of numbers that were thrown by. So how many units need repair?
5 units are renovated. They just need $10,000 worth of plumbing. 2 units are gutted, so they need obviously full build out. 3 units need full gutting and build out. And then the 8 units above the bank need full build out, basically.
Okay, very good. Thank you for those clarifications. Fantastic.
So within 60 days for $10,000, if we can get a plumber, commercial plumber, to finish the project in 60 days, we can have break-even positive cash flow happening. And
right now, Jared, your ideal is mostly to sell or to partner. If you had both options on the table right now, what would be your go-to at this point in time?
Choose to sell at this time. My partners want more so than me.
The partners are putting some pressure to sell. And what is the asking price?
With the LLC, $989,000.
So just under $1,989,000 will get you this 35 unit income producing asset, soon to be cash flow positive. Fantastic, excellent. So any more questions for Jared while we have him here? Or Jared, anything else you'd like to add to the pod or add to the mix? Oh, Indira is asking, Hey, I caught you guys juggling three things. Are you coming back? Oh, sorry, that's different. So we'll keep that for the end, Indira. So Jared, anything else to add to this? Anything else to sweeten the deal for our folks?
Yeah, you know
And-
what? This thing basically got away from me. And it was a hard decision to say, hey, I gotta tap out and let this thing go because, we're human. And when you get to the extension of, they took all my money, got all put into this thing and I ran out of money. It was like, hey, it is what it is. So I had to tap out. So that, and you know what? Kyle's a good coach and of that, obviously, but obviously you're not going to win every deal. And sometimes you get dinged, and obviously I got dinged on this one. So I got to tap out and hopefully somebody can gain from this.
Absolutely. And hopefully one of the big takeaways here is you get involved in renovations, you make sure you have your buffers in place to make sure that, if we need to spend an extra, in this case, $100,000, it was all planned for in advance. So lessons to be learned. So hopefully Jared can move on to his next project and bring all those lessons with him as well.
P.S.
Yes.
I had I had over $150,000 buffer, but we spent it. So there you go.
There you go. So bigger projects, more things can happen, definitely. Yes, and anybody who is interested, I don't know who wrote this, it's anonymous. Anybody who is interested to get in contact with Jared, feel free to just send us an email, or if you're already in direct contact with Jared, you can definitely, Jared is part of our Now for Tomorrow community. And so feel free to reach out or just send us an email and we will facilitate the contact without a problem. And Indira, yes, Shelby is about an hour, a little less than an hour outside of Cuyahoga, so about an hour south of Cleveland. So it's still somewhat proximity. Yes, perfect. All right, well, excellent. So thank you, Jared. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for showcasing this deal, this opportunity for the community. And if there's nothing else, I will bid you an excellent evening, happy marketing, and best of luck. And congratulations for doing Now for Tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Our pleasure. Fantastic. Excellent. Cheryl's also sending her love to you. Excellent. So off we go here. I will just remind you all that if this is all new to you, you may be interested in joining our upcoming blueprint, which is going to be at the end of the month. It's a 3-day presentation, 3 days training on how to tap into US real estate, especially as an out of country or national real estate investor. So if that's of interest to you, you can certainly just go check out the link n40.club/blueprint and we'll see you there. So that was our deal reveal for this evening. Have yourself a wonderful evening and we'll see you soon. If you would like your deal to be featured on our deal reveal, just send us an email, or if you're interested in anything JK, you can reach out to one of our success strategists at success@nowfortomorrow.club. So take care and have a great evening, everyone.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing